Yes, so I was saying that if you are to cut that muscle fiber, that muscle cell, to look at the details inside it, it will look like this. So we have our sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is the same as endoplasmic reticulum. Then we have the sarcolemma, we have the sarcoplasm, which is the cytoplasm. Then we have the microfibrils. I want you to note that inside is a muscle fiber. The organelles are the same, however, they are modified for the function of the muscle cell. Good. So we have many types of muscle tissues. There are actually 3 types. We have cardiac muscles. That is one type of muscles, cardiac muscles. What do you think these ones are? Those are muscles of the heart. Those are muscles of the heart. Anything relating to cardiac, they are muscles of the heart. And do we control the action of the heart? No, we don't control it. The heart beats on its own because of those muscles. So those muscles can also be called involuntary muscles. Involuntary. You don't volunteer to do that work of their contraction. They do it without your notice. Then we have smooth muscles. Smooth. Now, I want you to first of all notice cardiac muscles. Notice that there are some lines here running across the cardiac muscles. These lines here. We call them, in biology, we call them striations. We shall look at them. Or strips. You can see there are many. Some of them are a bit dark, others are white. Then something special about cardiac muscles, notice that there are branches connecting the different muscle fibers. So the muscle fibers are branched and interconnected. That is good to master. Then notice this one. The muscle is really smooth. The muscle fibers are smooth. There are no striations. There are no strips on the muscle fibers. They are smooth. And they are scissor-shaped. Scissor-shaped, meaning they are pointed at both ends. They are tapering at both ends. And they are smooth. They don't have what? They don't have those stripes that we were seeing in the cardiac muscles. Then you can see they have only one nucleus. There is only one nucleus in that muscle cell. Then the last type is the skeletal muscle. The skeletal muscle, you can notice there are no branches. The muscles are cylindrical. The muscles are cylindrical. They are like cylinders. There are no branches. And they are also striated. They have these strips running. Some of them are black, dark somehow. Others are white. I hope you can see those stripes there. Very good. And these ones, each of these, for example, this one here. This one I have circled is one muscle fiber. Now, a skeletal muscle consists of many of these muscle fibers combined together. So you can see something similar between skeletal muscles and cardiac muscles. All of them have strips or striations, some lines running on them. Then all of them are of the same shape. They are all cylindrical. However, for the cardiac muscles, you can see that they are branched, they are interconnected. Good. We shall look at each of them in details. Let's start with the skeletal muscle, what is also called striated or voluntary muscle. It is voluntary because you can't move, it cannot contract without your interest, without your intention. For example, my muscles of the hand cannot contract unless I decide, okay, let me show these girls that I have energy. I do like this, then now they start to move. They are voluntary. You intend to make them contract. So, and then the most important is that the skeletal muscles are attached to bones. all muscles which are attached to bones are called skeletal muscles. So they are attached to bone by what? By the tendon, we know that. And so on one end, the tendon is continuous with the bone. So it means that the tendon attaches on the bone. The outer covering of the bone is continuous with the tendon. Then on the other end of the tendon, it is continuous with the outer covering of the muscle, of the skeletal muscle. We call the outer covering of the bone, what did we call it? Outer covering of the bone? Very good. We call it the periosteum. Periosteum. So the tendon is continuous with the periosteum on one end, and then it is also continuous with the outer covering of the muscle on the other end. The outer covering of a muscle is called epimysium or epimysium. Epimysium. Someone is now struggling to pronounce. So the outer covering of a muscle is called epimysium. So something very important, muscles are able to contract quickly and they become fatigued easily, meaning that they become tired of contracting easily. So they fail to contract when they are actually rapidly caused to contract. So they can contract quickly, but they can also become fatigued quickly. And they are responsible for locomotion and movement. That one we know. So it receives nerves or impulses. It receives the nerve fibers and impulses from the voluntary nervous system. Because we said it is a voluntary thing. It cannot contract without me saying, now you contract. So it should be receiving impulses from where? From the voluntary nervous system. So the muscle fibers or the muscle cells are striated. Remember what striated means? It has those striations or strips that are running on them like white and dark somehow. So and it is elongated and it is multinucleated, meaning that it has many nuclei in it. So one muscle fiber is elongated, it is multinucleated, and it is striated. Good. So this is how a skeletal muscle fiber looks like. It is composed of the outer covering. Do you remember what the outer covering? The epimysium, we said, is continuous with the tendon on one end. So at this end, the epimysium is continuous with the tendon. Then on the other end, on this end, we now have the bone. So the tendon is attaching on this bone. And the tendon again is continuous with the outer covering of the bone, which is called the periosteum. Good. So this epimysium, which is the outer covering of the muscle, encloses within it there. It is like a sac enclosing many bundles of muscle fibers. It encloses bundles of muscle fibers. So muscle cells exist in bundles. Each of these is a bundle. This one is a bundle. Even this one here is a bundle. Even this one is a bundle. So all of them are bundles. But what is contained within the bundles? These are muscle fibers. Inside here we have muscle fibers. So they don't just exist there. They exist in bundles within the epimysium. And each of the bundles is surrounded by their outer covering. There is an outer covering there. Are you seeing that one? This outer covering here, which is surrounding each bundle of muscle fibers, is called the perimysium.